welcome to the Sulk stream. I'm your host, the Incredible Sulk, and I hope you guys are having a good day. A fine day. A fantastic day that you don't regret. And you feel like you've accomplished something. You're just happy to do it, you know? You gotta stay happy to do it. You gotta stay happy to do it. You know, sometimes progress is slow, sometimes it's incremental, and sometimes it doesn't look like you're going anywhere at all. But you are. You're just at it over and over again. So I'm proud of you, and I love you, and I'm glad you're here with me at the Sulk Street Cult. So I hope you guys are doing good. As I said before, it is a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday evening. It's 8 p.m. over here on the Florida side. And we got a little hurricane going by. And luckily it's far off the coast, so we should just be getting some bomber-ass waves. So maybe I'm going to be taking a couple days off later on and see if I can catch some waves. Not the Sulk Stream, just day wave, because I don't surf at night. I'm not a maniac. There's already enough sharks. You know? I don't want to have to deal with more of that. I don't want to have to get bit by a shark at night. That just seems worse. I know it doesn't seem great during the day, but at worst, at night it just seems worse. Anyways, tonight we're talking about OnlyFans and the glorious after fans. How it just ruined their lives. So it should be fun. I mean, it's going to be tragic. It is a tragic show. It is a tragic occasion because these women get tricked into making the big bucks. You know, fresh out of high school. High school! Hot fucking high school! Turning 18 years old like Little Tay and then being like, I'm gonna show my cooter all over the internet and see if I can make a lot of money. And some do. Some make an ungodly sum of cash. Absolutely mind-blowing. And to think of all the men out there that are paying is equally mind-blowing to me. I just don't know how you respect yourself. But I don't understand. I don't think it's about respect or anything. I think it's just about just yanking it. There's no real thought process involved. There's just like, I'm just gonna yank it. You know, don't care how much it costs me. I'm just gonna go ahead and yank it. It has to be something to do with a girlfriend experience. Although these girls can't possibly talk to everybody, so they send out, you know, when you chat with them, the chat goes to some like Filipino person, right? It's Frozen. You're actually chatting with Frozen. And he's all like, oh, you like that, big boy? So have that in your head next time you're doing that. Spending all this money for this. Anyways, it doesn't last. It never lasts. It always goes bad. It always goes wrong. And women being women try to dodge all accountability as always and say, I wasn't warned. Nobody told me. I didn't know it was going to be like this. And I'm like, maybe you're right. But I kind of doubt that. I honestly kind of doubt that. But we'll see. We'll dive into it and see how it goes. Anyways, thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. Get comfy. Get cozy. Get a nice bottle of lube. Or whatever happened. Whatever you want to get, just relax and get comfortable. If you're working, keep working. And if you are driving, continue to drive. Try not to pop into the chat. And, you know, buckle up, you know, all that stuff. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming. I'm the Incredible Sulk. This is the Sulk Stream. And this is called OF models. OnlyFans models are having meltdowns because they have to return to work. It's a damn shame. That was the wrong button. What'd I do here?
need to be in trauma counseling. It brought me into way darker places than I ever could have imagined, and I never want to go back there. I wish I could go back in time to who I was before I started doing all that
No, you were always a slut, though. Let's be fair. Let's be honest and let's be fair. You were always a slut.
stuff and just tell myself that the money is not worth it. Keep your happiness.
Was the music too loud? I'm sorry. I just don't know. Somebody's been messing with my levels here. I look good as a redhead. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the. I'm sorry about the levels. I just, somebody's messing with my knobs, and my emotions and my sanity and all that. So.
Yo, what is going
I'm
on,
holding
guys?
it
Got a
together.
video for you here today from Alpha Central titled "Why OF Models, quote unquote, are quitting and going back to 9 to 5 in 2025." This should be absolutely hilarious. Now, today's video
I
was
can barely hear you. All right. Didn't want to make it like this, but now it's going to be like this. Since I have to fucking figure out my fucking shit. So I'm proud of you. And I love you. Yeah, it's way too loud. Is that better or is that worse? Is that better? I don't know. I can't. I don't have the team and I don't have the fucking patience. Okay? I don't have the fucking patience. Wrong button.
suggested down the mummy. I'm going to leave a link to both of their channels down in the pinned comments, so make sure you go and subscribe to these guys. Don't forget to leave your own comments, and let's jump right into the video.
I wasn't happy doing it. Like, it almost felt like I wanted to, like, go towards something I desired more.
Arden Chair says Knobs Dog was messing with your knobs. Dog.
It made my name look bad. Like, being on, it was more like, oh, she's an old girl, and that's just not someone who I wanted to be known as, because there's a lot more of me than just that.
Why'd you do it then if you felt like it was not what you wanted to be known as?
What she said doesn't make any sense. She joined OF to
Solis says the thumbnail's going to give him nightmares. Yeah, that's Ardenshire. Ardenshire makes those. And he works very hard at it, so, it is what it is. Here we go, Rob. Wait, let me get a better bell on that. I hear you just fine. Carry on, John. $10. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that.
The only way to make money on that platform is to become popular and famous. What exactly?
The thing about OnlyFans is, like, no one makes money. There is, like, 5 chicks who make money on OnlyFans. And you can name them. It's Sophie Rain. It's Little Tay now. And there's, like, I don't know, 3 others. But the rest of them make, like, $5 a month to show their clam and their cooter. And they have to do, like, increasingly disturbing and depraved things just to get anybody to watch. Or so I've heard.
What did she think was going to happen?
Oh, you
Yeah,
offered
I
that.
stopped. It's probably like the beginning of this year.
Why?
I
If it was
just-
lucrative, you should have kept running
It
it up.
definitely was lucrative, but I felt like I just.
Nah, no, was not. If it was lucrative, you would have kept doing it. Does anybody else believe her? Does anybody else believe this chick? No. If that shit was lucrative, you would have kept doing it. You're going to be like, I don't care. Because you started. You started doing it, right? And then you realized it wasn't making you enough money. And then you're like, well, I'm just going to stop because, I feel bad about it. And fuck off. Just fuck right off with that. You're a liar. You're lying. Because you wouldn't have started doing it unless you actually, don't be like, I was making lots of money, but I just couldn't do it because it hurt my soul and stuff like that. No, you're a liar.
just didn't like going into these bigger meetings, and like once they hear the words, they kind of just turn the cheek, or like they have a certain perspective about you. So
Yeah, you're a whore. You're a whore.
it was like it benefited me very well, but at the same time,
And what is with this heart tattoo on the... What is... Amanda Bynes has the same thing. What is that about? Is that another thing? Is that the new fucking... Is that the new nose ring? Is this dumb little heart tattoo? That's a bad call. You can't take that off.
I
You
just
can't take that
in a
off.
different phase in my life. I'm getting older. I have nephews and nieces. I really give a about how they.
No, you don't. $100 extra for a woman that doesn't have to pay bills is relatively lucrative, I guess. Yeah, I guess that would be, yeah. I mean, $100 over her career, or a month, because $100 a month for an OnlyFans, that's a top 90%er. That's maybe it's not 90, it's like the top 85 above, like the top quarter make that. You don't even know. The statistics are crazy. No one's making anything. I mean, except for like a few chicks which are making. It's the power law, the Pareto distribution, where 80% of the money is made by 20% of the people, but it's even like slimmer than that. But yeah, maybe she was making $100 a month, maybe, but I would be impressed by that.
They feel about me and what they see about me, and it just kind of like organically, this was like, this doesn't feel right.
She should have thought about that before getting into that line of work. Her brothers and sisters probably won't let their children.
Oh. She should have thought of that before. Hey, cool Bloodborne right there. I don't play Blood. I have played Bloodborne, and I was like, fuck this. I'm not playing Bloodborne. I heard it's really good. Not playing it. She didn't give a fuck about her family. She doesn't. She does not, because she wouldn't have started. She would not have started. It's the only thing why she stopped. The only reason why she stopped is because she wasn't making any money. You weren't making any money. Fine, maybe $100 a month. Again, I doubt that. I doubt even that.
Children near her, just to protect their reputations and also to protect their children from ridicule.
3 things that I wish I would have known as a young.
Archer says John just made more at the beginning of the stream than that aberration of an OnlyFans. So, yeah, probably. I mean, definitely. I wonder if we can look up some statistics. Here, you guys watch. I'm gonna look up some statistics.
2, money isn't everything. Number 3, the damage that did to my mental health.
I'm sorry. You saw yourself in the mirror, and you're all like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make a shitload of money. I'm gonna make a ton of money. Look at me. Do you have a nice rack or something like that? Because this is mid as fuck. I'm just saying, this is mid. So I think that's the only thing. They go into it, and then they're all like, "Oh, I'm not making any money, and this is severely hurting my self-image and my self-worth, and so I'm going to stop." And not say I didn't make dick. I'm going to say that I had personal issues with it. I had, I felt bad about doing it. You're a liar. You're an absolute liar.
It's funny to me how all of these women who try to quit the industry end up learning about hindsight, but they only learn about it after it's far too late and the damage has already been done.
I just want you guys to know, this streaming has helped me more than you guys can ever know. I've accomplished things and I've done things on my own that people said I could never do. And I'm doing them every single day. And I'm making my parents proud. I'm making myself proud. I'm making the people around me proud. The people who've rooted for me since day one.
I doubt that.
I'm so proud.
Oh my God. Okay. So, I didn't get the actual, breakdown of, how much people make. But look at the, OnlyFans users by age. And I assume this is the creators. 30% 18 to 24, 30% 25 to 34, 35 to 44, 17%, 45 to 50, 10%, 65 and plus, 5%. Is that creators, or is that the people who are jerking off? Is that? I don't know which one. 70-80% porn. I mean, the site makes a ton of money. The site makes tons of money. But the percentage of OnlyFans, even though men and non-binary creators are constantly growing their presence, female to male ratio, it's heavily imbalanced. Success rate. The average OnlyFans creator account has 21 subscribers. The average OnlyFans creator account only has 21 subscribers. So you're not making anything. Literally nothing. The average only has 21 subscribers. 10%, but the top 10% of creators generate most of the platform's wealth. While many creators struggle to build big followings, successful ones make massive profits. Top creators attract thousands of subscribers who pay up to $30 or more per month. Per sub. Oh, I bet they do make really good money. They also earn tip money, messages, and custom content requests. Marketing. There's no way. Look, I'm not trying to become an OnlyFans, but the average account only has 21 subs. Are they all paying, or is there like a free subscription? I don't know. I've never been on the site. I don't know exactly how it works. Maybe you guys do.
I'm just so proud of myself.
Are you starting an OnlyFans, John? Should I? Should I start like the tiny nipple OnlyFans where I just do the show, but I'm just shirtless. I'm just topless the whole time. And then you guys have to pay $30 a month just to watch me do that. No one's coming. No one's going to be there. No one's coming, right? Maybe a bunch of gay dudes. But whatever. I mean, if they're paying $30 a month, I don't care. I don't care.
Giving up the life of sin and being
Got to go full peen if I want that top 0.1%. Do I have to like show the head, or can I just do like an inch or two of the neck? You know, like how some chicks have like the cleavage out and stuff like that. It's not exactly pornographic. So is it only pornographic for me if I don't show like the actual penis hole? If I just show like a neck and just like the top of the balls? You know, just the top of the balls? Like, okay, the nose is the penis, the eyes are the balls. Just that. Just that much. I think that might work. Just to keep my, my virtue. My, you gotta leave them with some mystery, right? If they just saw the whole thing, it wouldn't be as arousing, as alluring. Although it's great. I got a great cock. I'm not lying about that. However, just because you got a great set of knockers, you want to keep them a little bit under wraps. Just the top. Just the tops. Right? If you just let them all hang out and stuff like that, I mean, that's cool. I have no complaints about that. But it's just, I don't know. There's something to be said about the mystery. The mystery. So just like the top of the balls and like an inch or two of neck. Is that okay? Would you guys pay for that?
Just really change as a person.
Goofy Boots says ball cleavage. Hey, my eyes are up here. I won't say that. They know where my eyes are. They're checking out the top of my balls.
It's rather hard to believe that her parents are proud of her.
I think you're allowed to show dick root. Okay. Sweet. I think this is going to work, right? There's just like one big purple vein. You know how some chicks have like the vein in their boob? I got that in my wiener. It's a lot more pronounced though. And I mean, the vein on a boob is, honestly, it's quite off-putting. But like on my wiener, it is a main feature. It's there for it. It does the pumping. You can see my heartbeat in it. If you look close enough, you can see my heart beating.
That she sold her body online for money. What she did isn't something to be proud of. It's degrading and brings a lot of shame to the family name.
Okay, part 2, why I'm not a full-time dancer anymore. And
Renee says, I don't know, I saw a chick on a podcast that dressed as Frank from Always Sunny as the trash man and did porn, made $20K. Some people have weird fetishes, all right? Look, you're not surprising me. You're not blowing me out of the water. It's not like they came to be like, oh, Frank from Always Sunny. Wow, she's so funny. No, I want to see Frank from Always Sunny, but he's got like a huge rack with a big purple vein. The purple vein. People be like that. Did she shave the top of her head? Because I'd say bravo. That kind of dedication, she deserves 20 grand. But I don't think she did that. Was she hot?
my money habits as a dancer.
As Frank? Did she crawl out of that couch naked? Like, You know that one scene? God, that's such a funny scene.
We left off in March, which was the last consistent and good month that I've had to date. My first year as a dancer, transparency, I made $130,000, but as y'all
As a dancer, here's the thing about exotic dancers. They'll make very good money for the first year or two. They'll make very healthy, or maybe it's not even that. I think it might be like the first couple months. I think they'll make very good money for the first couple months as an exotic dancer, and then the rest of the month, they don't make anything. I think she actually says that.
saw in part 1, I made $100K of that in the first 3 months.
There we go. Yeah.
Then literally the rest of the year, I scraped another $30K.
That's exactly it. So you're new, you're fresh, there's like a new girl, and so people are throwing money at you. Very literally throwing $100K in 3 months, 30 grand, that's $1,000 a night. And she's probably, so it's probably $2,500 a night, depending on how much she's working and stuff, because women don't work hard. So yeah, that is a healthy amount of cash. And then the rest of the year, the other 9 months, she only pulls down 30K, like a normal McDonald's worker. So you get into the business, you're all like, I have to pay for my mulatto child because the dad is in prison or he's just gone. And so you go and then you're dancing around and then you make $100K in 3 months and you're like, I'm going to be rich. And then you keep doing it and then you're just not making money anymore. And then you think you're going to make the money maybe in the next year, and then you do it the year after, and then every month you're just making less and less. You're just, that's it. You're just old news. And now you're a fucking stripper.
I eventually got really tired of like relying on my savings and wasting my time going to the club because that's what.
What'd you do with that $130,000? Did you buy it on bags and stuff? Like her mulatto child probably needed diapers and like formula because they don't breastfeed because they're idiots. Probably needed diapers and formula. And then she's like, I made $100,000. I'm going to go spend $5K on a handbag and do that like 5 or 6 times. And then she's all like, oh no, now I have to live off my savings because I have all these like Louis Vuitton pieces of shit.
It felt like, and that's what it feels like now.
That particular industry thrives on young women who think that they're going to be getting an easy payday, but it's a huge gamble, and regardless of how it pays off, they will still be known as the person who used to do spicy things for a living.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love
He's right.
my homegirls and like the environment, at least.
Here's the thing. Once you go down that horror route, once you go down the hoe route, it's a gamble. It is a huge, huge gamble because you're never going to keep that a secret. It's never going to be secret, right? Because it's just, especially if you're on the internet, it's just never going to be a secret. What's that? Am I scratchy?
No, I just thought you might like it.
Okay, thanks. It's never going to be a secret. Especially if it's online. So unless you're planning on making millions of dollars to where you're like never going to have to work again and never have to get married, because I'm not saying you're not going to get married, but the guy you're going to marry is going to be a fucking creep and he's probably not going to make tons of money. You're no longer a respectable housewife. You're not cut out for that. All these OnlyFans chicks that eventually, like, you know, go on to get pregnant by who, God knows who, and then their kid grows up and then he's in middle school and then everyone's got cell phones. And this is happening now. OnlyFans has been around long enough to where, like, this is happening now. The kid goes to public school and then, you know, some other kids in the school with their phones will be like, yo, your mom is fucking hot. Check that out. Is that where you came from? Boom, boom. And they're going to bully him to death. To death. He won't be able, he'll either have to leave the school and like change schools, but it doesn't matter what school he goes to. It's going to happen everywhere. The teachers will do it. Right? Because You guys might not know this, but teachers watch a lot of porn. Especially public school teachers. And like college professors, they watch a lot of porn. It's like they should really do a better background check on most teachers because they're like, there's a reason they surround themselves with children. That's all I'm saying. It's either they're a complete loser or they're a pedophile. It's usually both. Not always, though. Sometimes they can do better. Jeffrey Epstein was a teacher. Something to think about. Something to think about. Anyways, yeah. You're never getting away from that. Forever you are tainted.
Club is pretty chill, but I don't want to be spending money to be hanging out with my homegirls. I could hang out with them for free. So I eventually got a job, and that's why I've been away for 2 years.
It's impressive how she was able to get a job.
Rob says, women are so smart. Oh, and funny. So funny. You didn't even have to say, you didn't have to like put several O's behind that. I put that on there. I just knew exactly what he was saying. So funny. Well, tell us about your vagina again. Wow. That's so funny.
Loved what she did. Most employers won't touch women like that with a 10-foot pole, and that's just to protect their own businesses.
Of course. Would you? I'm sure some people in this chat run their own business. I know the people that inhabit this chat, but at least a couple of you must. Hog Dog, I think, is one of them. But yeah. Would you hire an OnlyFans model? An essentially prostitute? I mean, if you would, more power to you. But, like, typically, they're not on the top of the list. And people are having a tough time getting jobs as it is. And, like, if there's a lot of candidates that aren't former prostitutes, I would prefer to go with them. That's just me. It doesn't matter what industry. It really doesn't matter what industry. But let's just say it's unskilled. Generally unskilled. We're not talking about like a hairdresser where you need to go through at least some training. Just generally unskilled, a hostess, a waitress, that kind of thing. Would you like the sweet church girl who, doesn't spread her pussy online? Or the former whore? The former whore. Again, probably a very nice person. I'm sure they're nice enough people. It's just you don't want your business associated with a certain, especially if you have a certain clientele. I'm just saying, if there's a certain clientele, you stay away from stuff like that. And they're not allowed to do this, but they will find out. Your employer will find out. And then they're going to watch it. And then they're going to be like, they're going to watch hours and hours just to make extra sure it's you. And then they'll probably donate a couple of times. And then you're going to get fired. Because that guy's wife is going to fucking see him. She's going to walk in on him. And then she's going to see the screen and realize it's the waitress. Right? And then she's going to make the boss fire you. That's how it's going to happen. That exact scenario has to have happened. In the vastness that is OnlyFans, it has to have happened. Not just OnlyFans, Pornhub and shit like that, all that. All of that. It has to have happened. There's been cases of where women in college, their college professors have called them by their PH name. I don't know if I can actually say the word. Corn name. Their corn name. In class. So, yeah. That's not great. That's not good. That's not great.
Was because a friend at work found my OF somehow.
What if you're
I guess I told
What if you're hiring? Oh, she's fucking telling it right now. What if you're hiring her to be a whore, though? Well, yeah. Okay, yeah. If you're hiring prostitutes, then that's probably fine. They have a resume. They have experience in the business. They probably all do all kind of weird stuff and be like, well, show us what you got, kid. Wow.
My stage name and wasn't thinking, and he subscribed, and I had videos on there from like way back in the day, like so many different hairstyles, so many different weights, so many different pregnancies, and being fat, and just doing things like crazy, like and things I do.
Fetishes. She's got the gaps. The gaps in her teeth. Another thing that I that just turns my stomach, absolutely sends me for a loop, is women that do this stuff while they're like 9 months pregnant. Like completely full on preggers, especially like hardcore stuff, dude. It's like, whoa, that kid's gonna come out of there, and one of his friends is gonna see. He's going to show him, be like, this is your mom pregnant with you getting railed by a black guy. And he's going to be... And that's going to be the most traumatic thing that he has hopefully ever encountered at that point. If he just sees that and been like, yeah, no big, then there's a lot bigger problems in that kid's life. But that is unconscionable. That is horrific. You are a terrible person. You're a bad person. You're a bad mom, obviously. That goes without saying, but you're just a bad person in general.
I didn't want someone that I worked with, especially a friend, to see.
If she didn't want people to see it, then why did she tell this guy in the first place? How does something like that even come up in a workplace conversation? These women don't think before they do anything, I swear.
And
oh, yeah. So what'd you do? There seems to be quite a gap in your work history. Oh, that's when I was getting my insides torn out by a group of, blacks. I don't know why I said it like that. But, she did the whole thing on the couch with people around. She wanted to be a meme, right? And so, and then the employer is just like, oh. It's one of those things. The slow realization. It's not even a slow realization. It is just, God, she's gross too. Look at her. She's gross. Look at that chomper on her. Ugh.
Then a second person that I worked with in my department mentioned my OF and subscribing to it, and it freaked me out. And
yeah. So do you have to pay to subscribe? It's not like YouTube, right? You have to pay to subscribe? I don't know. Can somebody please tell me?
and
Yeah.
the thought of the people that I work with every day.
Background noise says I was banging a psychology TA that had to watch porn as part of her assignments. I think it was a lie. Yeah, that was a lie. She volunteered for that. No, look, no one's going to force a TA to watch that. No one's going to be like, okay, you sit over there and watch it. I'm going to be in the corner smoking a cigarette in the darkness. Just pretend I'm not here. just pretend I'm not here. God, weirdo fucking college professors and high school teachers. They're all the same. They're all just fucking weirdos and perverts. But yeah, that was a lie. No one's forcing her to do that. She was like, yeah, I'll do it. I don't care. I'll do it. I don't know. She probably talked like that.
Seeing me like that, seeing me fat and naked and doing all these and just in that.
Renee says maybe she can lock her jaw like a pit bull. Or maybe just open it like a fucking pit viper. Like one of those zombies from I Am Legend, and we're just like, somebody's gonna edit that into something.
Light, yeah, it freaked me out, and I shut it down at work like that. In that moment, I stepped away and I deleted my OF right then and there.
By the time she deleted her account, it was too late. The second that she told that guy about her page, it was over, right?
It was over. It was over. Because, here's the thing. Screen capture exists. You can screen cap anything. Just screen record. Boom. And everybody does that. Everyone's doing that. You know, it's not like, ooh, this is a little secret between you and me. No. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. This is the internet. There are no secrets. And, like, I do this on the internet. I'm totally fine. If somebody comes up and shows me, did you say this on the internet? I'll be like, I sure as fuck did. I sure as fuck did. Because I'm not showing my snatch, you know, and I don't care. I'm not applying to your company. I don't want your job. Fuck you. Fuck you, future. If I'm applying for a job, fuck you in advance. I hate you.
Then and there.
It's very rare that a becomes an entrepreneur successfully and then becomes a women's pastor. But that has been my story.
No! Why? All right, let's go the other way. Let's flip the script on this one. Let's go the other way. So you recently found out the youth pastor at your local church, a guy, used to do gay porn. Are you cool with that? No. No, sir. And then she's like, oh, I'm a woman's pastor. I didn't even know that was allowed. Because I don't even, is God okay with that? I don't think God's okay with that. But whatever, maybe he is. I'm not sure. You know, that's not my place. But let's say he is. I'm not taking my kid there. I'm not taking my kid to you. No, thank you. My wife definitely will not let me take my kid to you. No, ma'am. Absolutely not. No, I'm glad you found Jesus and all that, and more power to you. Good for you and all that. But sorry. And I know it says I should be forgiving and stuff. Yeah, it sure does say that. Yeah, sorry. I don't care. You can forgive them as much as you want. You can forgive somebody until they're blue in the face, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't mean I'm going to be like, okay, I forgive you. Now go ahead and watch my kid as I go away, and then you're completely unwatched. No, thanks. No, thank you.
I was a high hustler for 5 years of my life. And through an experience.
Arden Shay says, John effectively monetized racism and it's a growing business. I am not the first person to do that. I would love to take credit, but I'm not even the best person doing that now. I'm just, I'm just getting my shots in, I'm trying my best. Look, it's not the biggest show. It ain't the biggest show. I understand that. But I have my point of view, and I'm willing to share it. But people are much better racists than I am. I know my place.
Experience that I had with Christ Jesus in my life.
I'm not a grand wizard. I'm more of a tall wizard? A venti wizard? I don't know.
Completely changed. And yes, it took a ton of work. And still takes work. It's taken therapy and very hard conversations. But the foundation.
Renee says it's a cool one, though. Thanks, bitch.
Of my ability to do the work that I needed to do to radically.
Onia says she fucks old men at the church to try to get that sweet, sweet deathbed money. Honestly, that's a more respectable. Look, the term respectable is being used very loosely here, but that's a more respectable profession. Than being a former porn star turned youth pastor. I'm not even saying she's a youth pastor, but let's be real. She probably does dabble in that. No, just go fucking old guy. Go be like, hey, wow. Go to a hospital and just go into people's room and look at their chart. And if it looks like they're going to make it, leave. Okay? If it doesn't look if they have a prognosis of they have 8 months to live. Then be like, yo, I'll suck your dick. And it depends if he's got a lot of family or not, or if he's just a piece of shit. I mean, a lot of boomers are pieces of shit. It's a target-rich environment. There's a lot of boomers that don't talk to their kids, have several divorces under their belt, and don't give a fuck about nobody. Look at their chart and be like, Oh, it looks like it's metastasized. You want to go on a date? And they'll be like, yeah, of course, because why not hit a little strange on your way out? One for the road. Yeah, do that. You're going to make a lot more money.
Transform my life was built upon the foundation of the understanding that because of Christ and because of what he has done for me, that my life didn't have to stay in the very dark place that it was in.
We have been seeing this major trend of women finding religion after making terrible life choices. It's hard to know which ones are genuine and the others who are just trying to use it to quote unquote erase their past.
Ooh, that's a good point. I don't know. Because you just don't know. And does it matter? I don't think it matters all that much. Your personal relationship with God is your business. And it's not my business. And it's not for me to be like, oh, you're being fake. Because I don't know that. And nobody else knows that too. So that's nobody's business. Honestly, if you say you've seen the light and you're going down the whole God route and going to church and stuff like that, I'm going to take your word for it and be like, well, good for you. You're doing it, you're not, but, you could go right back. And I'm not even saying that's the worst thing either. It is a battle. But are some chicks saying, I've seen the light and lying about it? Yeah, of course. That's has to be true. Just dealing with numbers, it just has to be true. But it is not our business to question that. That's all I'm saying. But if you're like dating a girl who used to be an OnlyFans model or like a former prostitute or like a porn star or something like that, I would just go ahead, me, personally, I would go ahead and be like, no, thank you. I will pass. I'll go ahead and pass. Because, you might go right back to it. And also, no, you. Ew, big ew. Ew. No, ew. No, thank you. Ew. Again, we shouldn't judge and stuff like that. But like for real, there's limits to that. I'm all about religious tenets and be a good person, forgive, thou shalt not judge and stuff like that. Agreed, 100%. There are limits though. There are absolutely limits. And maybe I'm not the most pious person in the world if I'm not gonna bang a former hooker. Judge me how you see fit. I'm sorry. I understand the concept behind that. I really do. But there are limits, and we all understand that.
But honestly, I think that the former is significantly more common.
I've lost my whole family, and it sucks. So a lot of times,
when she's crying, she's lying. And if you gave a shit about your family in the first place, you wouldn't have done this. And I do feel bad for you. But like this much. Like this, like barely. Barely. Just because you made some really lousy decisions and you're suffering the consequences from that. So I can't feel that bad for you. I can't be like, oh no, it's, if your husband died of cancer or something like that and you stayed by his side the entire time and you had 3 wonderful kids and it was a really tragic thing and you guys really, truly, really loved each other, I would feel bad for you. But you sucking cocks for money and then your parents not talking to you anymore makes me feel less bad for you. A lot less. Way less. It's still there. It's still there. They're not touching. So, it's still there though. But boy, is it minuscule. It's so tiny. It's a very small amount. And the rest of me is well, serves you right. I mean, it serves you right. But I do kind of feel bad for you, but very small. Not if if you were like a widow or something like that, I would actually feel bad for you. But like, no, you're just a whore. You did a thing that you knew was going to cause problems. And if you didn't know it was going to cause problems, then you're a fucking idiot. Which makes me feel less bad for you. Because I don't think we should feel bad for stupid people. I don't think we should feel bad for stupid people. I think empathy has been weaponized in our modern culture, in our modern society. Empathy is a weapon. It's how they keep a bunch of homeless people on the fucking street. It's how they let, criminals go out and be like, oh, he's not going to do it this time. It's how they let 1 million refugees into the fucking country because they're from a war-torn country. Oh, they don't have plumbing and they kill each other. Well, yeah. Yeah, but these people are the ones who did it. Them. Look, the children, yeah, send the children back. They're going to do it too. Let's be real. Let's be super duper real. They're going to do it too. The kids are going to do it too. But it doesn't even matter because the kids aren't coming because everyone is like a 20 to 30-year-old male and they're all horny as fuck. Just dump them in the country. All right? Just dump them in the country like dumping ants into a picnic blanket. Yeah, this is going to be fun to watch. That's what it is. That's basically what's happening. Empathy has been weaponized in our culture, in our society, and we should just stop feeling bad for people. We should really start feeling bad for ourselves. And not in the way we're like, oh, it's so sad. No, in a way where like we're going to start doing something about it. Like the Irish. You know what the Irish do? They build car bombs. They throw Molotov cocktails and shit. Am I the only one that respects that? They're actually trying to fight back. They're trying to keep their tiny little island. They've been pissed off. They've been pissed about the British constantly coming over and burning their crops until they discovered the potato. And then they're like, oh, this is the best. They can't burn our wheat crops. The potato. We can live now. Until that entire famine thing happened. But they've just fucking had it. They just fucking had it. They're like, we don't care. It was the English for hundreds of years, and now it's Somalians. We can deal with that. You're not going to make us feel bad about it. They have that unique historical stance where they're just like, no. No. But anyways, I don't think we should feel bad for stupid people, especially Somalians who get dumped into like Wisconsin and Michigan. And now they're running the show. Now they're like the mayor and stuff like that. How long do you think that guy has been speaking English? Does he know how to read and write? I don't think so. I would be incredibly impressed if he did. But I don't think he does. And I'm sure people will be like, he absolutely knows. No, he doesn't. No, I want to see him do it with his own hand. I want to see him do it with his own hand. Because I know he doesn't.
When people ask me if they should do porn, I tell them no. I tell them that it makes life really hard. It makes dating really hard. It makes your family life really hard. It makes intimacy hard. You're putting yourself...
It's the crocodile tears, man. It's the crocodile's tears that piss me. Oh, now it's really hard to be intimate and stuff like that. Because whenever I try to be intimate with a man, he just pictures me getting plowed. Plowed by dude after dude. Like, just like Bonnie Blue, there's just a line of people. Just a line of people out the door. You know what that reminds me of, that entire Bonnie Blue thing? You know that scene in Airplane? Where they're just lined up and they're like going by and they're smacking her, trying to get her to get a hold of herself. It's the same thing, only they're doing it with their penises. It's the same thing. She still has not gotten a hold of herself. That woman is deeply damaged. And this is a type of self-harm that people are allowing. I mean, if she was like slicing up her arms, it's the same thing. If she was like cutting herself, then people would be like, no, stop, don't do that. But she just takes refugees on like something. I don't know. Somebody should stop her, and somebody should institutionalize her. Won't happen, though.
Yourself out there and the world is now judging you. You have to be okay with being shamed every day of your life.
These women have no idea of the major consequences of what they've done to their lives. Once they do something so shameful, word gets out and they will never be able to do anything to change that.
I don't even want to have children because I'm worried of the way that people will treat my child. Recently I wanted to go visit him and he said that I can't go visit because his wife, my stepmom, doesn't want me there. I'm not
Yeah, I wonder why.
allowed to go visit my dad anymore because my stepmom doesn't like that I do. But then he's
yeah. Yeah. Yep. That is what it is. That's rough. And I'm not saying that's fair or anything like that. That's not fair. And like if your dad really wanted to see you, it would be done. What is his stepwife, his wife gonna stop him from seeing his daughter? That's not, no. Let's be real. Your dad doesn't want to see you. And you probably had a rough relationship with him for a while now. You know how I know? Yeah, you know how I know.
told me that.
You know how I know.
And we like go get coffee and like we go like get breakfast and he's like, I don't want to be seen in public with you. And that just hurt so bad. And it sucks.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Because somebody's going to see them. And like, you're quasi-famous. At this point, you're quasi-famous. So like, somebody's going to see them and be like, yo, I saw Pete over there and he's like hanging out with a porn star. And then people are like, no, that's his daughter. And they were like, what? Yeah, that's something to talk about. I can understand that. And I don't feel bad for you. You know the consequences. This is why people without families, without parents do this, right? This is why people to the end of their ropes. Look, it takes a very special person to do pornography. You have to be completely not tied down. No parents, family, no brothers and sisters, no grandparents, nothing. You have to be at a level in your life where you're not capable of making money any other way. So completely unskilled. Completely in every way. You have to have terrible relationship dynamics with every man you've ever met. I guess that goes without saying. And you, while all of this being true, you also have to be hot. You also have to be hot enough to do porn. Not in every case. There's a lot of those edge cases, forgive the pun, where like, granny's getting dicked down and stuff. And but there's the other way too, where you're an old man and you're banging like young, aged porn stars and stuff. There's all types. That's all I'm saying. There's all types. So, but if you don't fit that criteria, it's probably not for you. It's probably not a good idea. I don't think it's for anybody. I think it's a bad idea all around. I think you're going to really fuck up your life pretty much no matter what. And it is a last ditch effort to feed yourself kind of situation. But it's not. It never is. It never is. I mean, there's so many other things you could do besides chugging dick for money. There's so many other things. There's so many other things. Mia Khalifa's life is ruined. And she had big old nice boobs. And that's a shame because she's a very attractive, but then just ruined. And if she ever has kids, which I hope she doesn't, just simply for the kids' sake, it's going to be a tough life.
I lost my family. I don't talk to like my brothers or sisters.
What's really insane is how this woman, who didn't want children because she was terrified as to how that child would be treated, mind you.
Renee says, I would tell her to do it the right way, or it's just for attention. It's just for attention. It's usually only for look, like I said before, there's always another way. There's always another way, and like a lot of porn stars don't make very much money. And we just talked about the OnlyFans thing. But let's say you're a normal Pornhub. You're gonna do a scene and stuff like that, and you get offered what, $3,000? I don't know exactly what they offer, but let's say it's ballpark that to on camera, and like if it gets popular, you'll get more work. So yeah. You're not making tons of money. It's almost always for the attention and just to... It might also be like a thing where she's got a really bad relationship with her dad. And instead of just having sex with a black guy, she has a sex with a black guy on camera. And like, whoa. She's really mad at her dad. She's very, very mad to the point where she destroys her life completely. That's something for you. That's really bad. That's sad. It's really sad. That's unfortunate, and I don't completely blame her. I know what you're thinking. John's over here not completely blaming the woman. No, I'm not. I'm not completely blaming women for a lot of things, right? You have to understand that women have a certain nature. They're predisposed to. They're very instinctual creatures. They have their motivations and stuff like that, and they make their decisions not based on logic like a man would. They make their decisions based on instincts and self-preservation. So you can't completely blame women. You have to blame the men around them that are facilitating the situation to happen in the first place. Women need to be protected from themselves. They make terrible decisions. They make awful, awful decisions. And this is why they're constantly dodging accountability, because in some weird roundabout sense, it really isn't their fault completely, because they can't be blamed. This is why they do less time for crimes and stuff like that. Because there is this societal notion that women are less culpable for their decisions. They're less. They have less control over their choices. But that's like a remnant of the past, and we give them all these like rights and stuff like that, and we push them on being girl bosses and stuff, and so we're at this weird confluence in history where women get this protection, this like a protected class status, while also being allowed to run amok and ruin their own lives willy-nilly. We're just at a weird time in history where they get to do both of those things. They get absolutely none of the responsibility and all of the rights and privileges just to make a catastrophe. It's like giving the keys of a Ferrari to a 6-year-old. Yeah, he wants to drive the car, sure. Is he capable of driving the car? No. And then you're all like, oh, I know you can do it, buddy. Hey, you want a martini or two before you go set off? It's a bad idea. It's a bad call. And it's society's fault in general. Not to say that men wouldn't try to stop her. It's just illegal for us to do this. It's not our fault either. It's the government. It's the government meddling in social affairs again, and that always ends up shitty. Who'd have thunk it?
Actually had a child. She knew that child wouldn't have a normal life, and she chose to do it anyway.
Do you think there is some sort of
Aaron Woodley says, John, Up Ninja made the show. Nice. Up Ninja made the show? I don't know what that means.
Traumatic
but thanks, bud.
stress that is in you from this experience?
Yes, and I think it kicks in mostly when I go out in public, because
the stares I get, I feel like people can see through my clothes, and it brings me deep shame.
They don't have to see through your clothes. But I get the stare that you would get because your tatas are famous. Them's famous tatas. And so, I mean, they're real life. They're just right there. Yeah. Can you blame people? I mean, look at this face. Can you look at that face? This is the face she makes when I'm staring at her boobs. Yep. And I know she's making that face, but I'm not looking up. This is just the face she makes.
It makes me feel like I lost all right to my privacy, which I did because I'm one Google search away.
Yeah.
She didn't lose her right to privacy. She made the choice herself when she got into this industry, but she's trying to make it sound.
First World says women are on their way out. They made artificial wombs. I heard about that. So prepare for nondescript NPC people. So prepare for women? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, okay. Look, dude. The ethical implications of raising a baby in a robot are in depth. They're many and varied. And really, I could probably talk for 2 hours about that subject alone. I don't really want to, but to surmise it, to make a long story short, I don't think that is ethical. I don't think that's ethical, but I could see the arguments on the other side. So I'm not hard stop on that being the case where it's just completely unethical. Never do that. You never want to do that. I can see a bunch of situations where that would be an ethical course of action. And if there's certain situations where that is an ethical course of action, then all courses of action by default have to be that way. It's just the society we live in. We're a black and white society. Any gray area gets kind of just shoved out. There's no nuance to our legal system. I mean, there is, but it's going to be manipulated and violated, and the spirit of the law in general is going to be just shit all over. So let's go ahead and assume that's going to be the case. But I would love to hear the arguments that anybody has, you guys have, about that. Look, being born in an artificial womb, there's just so many problems. I know, and I'm not saying that there's technical problems. I know it can be done. I know it's possible. I've seen them do it with like lambs and stuff. So I know they can do that with people. But there is so many fucking problems with that, dude. Because gay couples are going to do that. Hollywood starlets are going to do that. They're like, I don't want to ruin my body. Instead of getting a surrogate, I'm going to go just raise it in a fucking Ziploc bag. Look at my baby. And then you better put the right Ziploc in the freezer after Thanksgiving. Oh no, this is the turkey. Oh no, I put my baby in the freezer. It's a grim thing and it's funny, but it could happen, dude. It's just, yeah. But then there's also other things where like couples, like certain women can't carry. And like, so how are they going to do it, especially if they're against surrogacy and stuff, or nobody's willing to be a surrogate, or they have some sort of like hang-ups about it or something like that. There's like, yeah, that is a complex issue. It's better not. It's better not. It's better to be in a womb, in a woman, than in a Ziploc. Just now, why is that better? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't know. It's so complex. Anyways, back to whores.
Despite her choices, she is somehow the victim in this situation.
And those images you cannot expunge. You have no right, even though it is deeply personal to you, you have no right to.
Yeah, and there's a thing called the Streisand effect. Also, you have like the most famous boobies on the planet. So even if you just don't have the ability. Even if you had the right to do it, you wouldn't have the ability. It's on too many hard drives. It is spread around the world. Even young kids have seen your boobs. So it's impossible. It's an impossibility. You will carry this for the rest of your life. And you are probably going to live another 60 years minimum. That's a long time. And when you're all old and stuff like that and saggy, some kid's going to walk up to you and be like, yo, it used to be banging. It used to be banging. And I don't know how you're going to take that. Are you going to be happy about that? What, you think she's going to off herself? Does anybody think she's going to off herself? I know a lot of porn stars do. They like take too many pills or something like that, or jump from a high place in some real dramatic fashion. That's a possibility.
To remove them from anybody's view around.
Knobstock says, what the fuck is John talking about? He sounds crazy. Yeah, dude, you've seen the show.
The world.
What do you think I'm talking about, idiot? Listen.
Any OF creator who thinks that they can just delete their accounts and assume the world will forget doesn't realize that those images will be on the internet forever and there isn't a thing that they can do about it.
No, Onia says, stop it, John. They're not real people. They're figments of your imagination. He's going mad. Mad! Who is? Who's a figment of my... porn stars? Women in general? Robots? I don't think so. Possibly, though. Background says that one hung herself in a public park like last year. Yeah. Yeah. It happens, dude. It happens because you're never going to live a normal life. Even if you go to like Utah where pornography is illegal. And or one of those countries that like where porn is illegal. It doesn't matter. People are going to notice you. They're going to notice you. And they're going to be like, yo, you that one chick with the boobs, the tatas and stuff. And then, yeah, dude, that's just it. Your life is over. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you made these terrible decisions. I'm so sorry you had such a raw fucking relationship with your dad that you decided to spread your cooter all over the internet. And I'm so sorry that people are judging you for your own decisions now that you made for money. But I feel this bad for you. Obviously, I don't think you should take your life or anything like that. Obviously. But it's just like... if women learned from other women, this would not be an issue. They've been doing porn for a long time. They never look into, oh, I wonder how this porn star turned out. Bad! They turned out bad. They all turn out bad. You ever look into it? Before you're doing porn, you just look at fucking Sophie Rain with her $43 million or whatever. Not like the millions of other porn stars that roped themselves up or fucking, died in a bathtub bleeding out or fucking pilled themselves until their kidneys exploded. You don't look at any of that. You're like, that shit ain't gonna happen to me. You're foolish. You're fools. You're all fools. You're idiots. You're stupid. And I wish somebody would tell you that. I wish somebody would tell you how stupid you are. But even if they did, you wouldn't understand. You wouldn't get it. You wouldn't listen. You're stupid. You're a stupid woman. You're doing stupid things. You're going to ruin yourself. You're going to ruin your family line. For a little bit of money. A very small amount of money. Onia says, John's got good genes.
Not a smart...
Thank you. He said it with a J, so yeah, like I'm sexy.
idea to try and start a
Stupid.
marketing business when your former profession was OF. A lot of people don't want to do business with
Despite says it happened in country parks too, and the ranger has to call the cops. Yeah, that's a shame. That sucks. I mean, you can't do it in your apartment, or are they just like homeless after that? Kabuki Tut says, John, your face on Cindy Sweeney is giving me nightmare. Please stop. I don't have any control over that. That's Arden. You got to talk to Arden. If you're not okay with that, you got to talk to Ardenshire. He makes all those. I have no control over that.
the guy who is in that
I could ask him to stop. I'm not gonna.
particular line of work. It does more harm than good.
I want to clarify.
I don't want to tie his hands. You be creative.
I was addicted to anything and everything, but I also was a dancer. And I know a lot of girls that are addicted to dancing and still to this day are dancing, and they were dancing 4 years.
Did she say addicted to dancing? Did she say addicted? Did she addicted to it? What is addictive about being a stripper? What is addictive about being a stripper? Let's see if she says.
Years before me, and they've still been dancing after I quit, and I danced for about 4 years. I think it's a
You're ugly.
very addictive lifestyle because you get used to instant.
The cocaine? Is it the cocaine that you're addicted to? Is it the free drugs and attention that you get addicted to? I could see that, I guess. Right? A bunch of people fawning over your hot body. I mean, that's why I do this show. I don't get free drugs out of it, but I get the compliments. I get all the compliments. And yes, I do feed on compliments and attention, so feed me. And you're ugly.
Instant gratification, a lot of attention, instant money. I think the club definitely enabled my use though because it was really normalized.
These women are lured in at the prospect of making a bunch of quick money, but never...
Knob says yes, yes, and yes. Also the easy money. It's easy money. It's easy money for the time being, but women don't age well. This is not a career for you. This is a job. You are not a professional dancer. You are a part-time whore. And when I say part-time, like part of your life you're going to be a whore, and then the rest of your life you're going to be a crack whore. Yeah. So it's not like one of those careers where like, oh, there's opportunity for advancement. You know, I'm going to build a life doing this. You ain't going to build a life. You're going to get some quick cash to do drugs and get drunk and party and stuff like that and do lines of coke off of boners. You're going to have all that kind of opportunity, but it's not going to be sustainable and you're not going to be happy.
Realize there is a dark side to that industry, which is weird because that dark side has been made public for decades.
The only reason why I got sober and quit dancing is because I met my husband, and me and my husband wanted to.
God, what the fuck, man? What the absolute fuck? Like, what the absolute fuck? Like, what the fuck, man? Anyways. Ready to level up your game? Aim Controllers is where custom meets unbeatable value, and right now it's the best deal of the year. We start with the official Sony and Xbox controllers, fully compatible with console and PC, no functionality lost. Then you go wild with custom features, smart bumpers, paddles, grips, stick height, custom buttons, even design your own PS5 snap panels. And here's the part no one else is doing. Lifetime warranty on all modified parts. That's right, lifetime. What other company does that? Exactly. Normally, a fully loaded setup could run you $400, but during our one price promo, it's just $209 USD or 182 euros, no matter how many features you add. Use code RUMBLE at checkout and lock it in. This is your sign. Go to aimcontrollers.com and build the last controller you'll ever need. Anyway. Knob, stop remind me to make my 23 cents. Thanks, Knob.
Started a family, so I decided to get sober so that I could get pregnant. I got pregnant.
Rob says, John, you are the drug.
Right away, so I stayed sober.
Thanks. Thank you.
And we talked about
I
me going
appreciate
back to dancing if I wanted to after we had our son,
But then once we had our son, I just never wanted to leave my kid. That's just how it worked out. I just stopped because...
Background noise says it's the dollars. She needs tangible proof of her worth. And you're right on the money. You're right on the money, dude. See, this is really more about attention and like, there's something innate in women where they have to be valued. They have to have a certain value. They need to feel this. And if they aren't getting this external validation from their community or men in their life or their fathers or something like that, and it doesn't have to always be sexual. So, don't be like, oh, they're not getting fucked by their dad. No, there's just a general expression of value that they are not attaining in their day-to-day life. And so they get it somewhere else. They go and strip, and then men are sticking dollar bills down their thongs and stuff like that. And it is a cheap substitute. But it is a substitute. So, yeah.
I just had a kid and I didn't want to leave my kid.
She didn't quit dancing until after she met her husband, and she considered going back to it after having a child, which just goes to show that her addiction never went away, even after she had a kid, which is incredibly sad.
When you say, like, you were in the traditional corn industry, just
Yeah.
OF, how long have you been doing it for?
Nice Stussy on your laptop there, buddy. He's got a Stussy on his laptop. You know, the S.
About 3 years.
3 years, okay. And when you say you're trying to get out of it, what do you mean?
Yeah, I started it on a whim.
You do everything on a whim. You do everything on a whim. You don't think anything through. I don't think you think anything through. I don't think you have that inner monologue that actually tells you, hey, this is a bad idea. No, you just have like this, like, you don't have that part of your brain. The only part of your brain you have is like, ooh, sexy, blah, blah, blah. Ooh, money, ooh, attention. It's very animalistic. I don't believe they have like a higher functioning cortex that like drives their, which is like amazing because like, we give these, her vote is worth just as much as mine. And so I'm like, I'm not voting then. I'm not going to, no. If her vote is worth the same as my vote, then my vote is worth nothing. So I'm not going to waste my time. Okay? Does that make sense to you? I'm not going to do that. And the people who instated this knew that. They knew that. They knew exactly what was going to happen. It wasn't about equal rights. It's never been about equal rights. It's never. It's been about a destruction of society. That's what the entire 19th Amendment is about. And here we are a century later. And it is almost complete.
Really famous really quickly, so didn't have any time to really think about it. Blew up really quickly.
She didn't have time to think about it because she didn't want to take the time to think about it. If she had, she would have realized that the risks far outweigh the rewards in that particular industry.
And as time went on, I got a little bit older. Realized, it's not really where a lot of people should be. I think it's just a very dark industry, and there's a lot that isn't, I think, portrayed in the media.
Yeah, Ania says, yeah, they have no inner monologues. They don't. It doesn't seem like that. Do you really think she had like a long think about this? Like where she was like, maybe I shouldn't do this. You think that went through her mind for even a second? You think like the negatives of this went through her mind at all? Or you think it was all just tingles and butterflies and excitement? And drugs. And that'll show Dad. There was never once did she stop and be like, hey, is this going to ruin my life? For maybe a couple $1,000s. Maybe. But probably not. If you start off on OnlyFans making a couple of $1,000s, you are a top tier bitch. You are a top tier bitch. And all women think they're top tier. They all do. And obviously when I say this, You know what I mean. A lot of them think they're way hotter than they are. They're not. They're not. Like, a lot of these bitches are pretty mid. And they don't know that. And if somebody came up to them and be like, this is a bad idea, you're mid as fuck, they'll be like, oh, you're just jelly. You're just jelly in my hot body. Okay. All right, well, I tried to warn you. And then afterwards, they're like, why didn't anybody warn me? Turns out I'm mid as fuck. And the guy's just like, just throw your hands up. You just throw your hands up because you're just like, I was there. I told you. We have it on camera. It's like, it blows your mind. It blows my mind. It blows my mind how little people in general listen. But women especially. They have no ability to listen. Ever. I mean, like, maybe not ever, but like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's really bad. Like, why don't you listen? Why don't you just listen? Just like I'm telling you important information. Why don't you let it sit in your head for a minute? Nope. They already know everything. They already know everything. They already know everything. And you know what? It's not even about like they know everything. It's just they're going to make their decisions based on instincts and like preloaded directives. And then they're going to try to explain away after their accountability for those decisions. I've seen it time after time after time. And so have all of you. So have all of you. Don't even fucking tell me you haven't. I know you have, and I know you'll agree with me. Time after time. You cannot warn them. You cannot tell them that's a bad idea. It's like telling a little kid not to touch the stove. They're still going to fucking do it. I can't believe it. Women are fucking adult children. I swear to God. Like, why don't you just listen? I'm not trying to screw you over. I'm not jelly. I'm not like being mean to you even. Although I've gotten to the point where sometimes I'm pretty mean about it. Just because I know the futility. I know I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to lay out all the logic, all the facts. I'm going to tell you the exact timeline of how it's going to work out. And then it's just going to be all for naught. But I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it anyway. And then as I'm doing it, I'm just going to get a nosebleed, right? Because I'm just getting... right? I just start bleeding out of my nose like 11 from Stranger Things because I'm trying to lift a car with my mind. I basically am doing the same thing, right? It's just, it's not going to happen.
Girls are like, whoa, I'm a boss bitch, and it's there.
That woman got her money and then realized how bad the industry was, and anybody with half a brain could have told her that signing up for that life would have been a terrible idea.
You are not going to make $4 million a month doing OF. Don't even think about it. I need you to understand that this Sophie Rain chick is an anomaly. It's not just...
Go ahead. It shall fall on deaf ears. It will fall on deaf ears, I promise you. Look, and then she's like standing with us, right? She switched sides. She was on the OnlyFans. Now she's switched sides, and now she's yelling it, right? We're all yelling it. We're all yelling it at you. Don't stop, please. You're going to hurt yourself. And now she's on our side. And then, no, it's just la, 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 la. It's amazing.
To say that there aren't high earners on the platform, but I promise you, you're not.
Tejas says, so now John's into vampire anime dudes? Yeah.
Not gonna be one of them. The industry is oversaturated. If you aren't already in it, I genuinely would not recommend joining. You're not gonna make $4 million in a month.
Shut up,
you know what's gonna
Tejas.
happen? Everyone that you don't want to sub, they're gonna be the first ones to sub. Your old high school teacher.
Oh, yeah. Your old high school teachers? Oh, yeah. They're the first ones. They're the first. How often, like, some of the chicks in the chat, like, do you ever get, like Facebook friend requests from, like, your old high school teachers? Because I know that happens a lot. I know, like, old high school teachers will, like, slip into a chick's DMs, like, 3 years later and be like, yo, so, what are you up to? You're always a good student. Dude. Weird. Whoa.
Teachers, your family, your old coworkers, your friends, your exes.
Oh yeah, everybody's slipping in.
Like, I swear to God, they're gonna be the first ones to do it.
The vast majority of these creators make less than $150 a month, but
Okay, a vast majority, 80 to 90%, make less than $50 a month. And most of those make less than $10 a month. I would be surprised if they even made that. Most of them make nothing. Most of them make nothing. They're just basically putting blackmail on the internet. They're just putting. They're not making any money in tips. By the way, tip. Go ahead and tip if you guys want. Bell's getting cold. They're not making any money in tips. And then they're just putting blackmail that's going to be there forever. Right? And go ahead. And if somebody wants to blackmail me with my show, be my guest. I just don't. How are you going to blackmail me with being right? I am right. Oh, but you said some racist stuff. I said some true racist things.
the shame that comes with signing up remains the same. They gave up their privacy and dignity, mind you, for far less than minimum wage.
But I know what you're thinking. Well, for $4 million a month, like, I could look past that. You are not gonna be making that. The average creator on the.
Why do they always think they're so hot, dude? Well, for $4 million, look, for $4 million a month, I could look past a lot of shit too, but that ain't happening. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. You're delusional. You're delusional. And all it's going to do is hurt your feelings a lot. A lot. It's going to hurt your feelings bad. But maybe that's what you need. And if that was the only consequence, I would be my guest. By all means, go ahead. But that is not the only consequence. The consequences are vast and far-reaching. The likes of which that you don't understand in your stupid 18-year-old head. Because you're dumb. You're dumb. You're dumb. Not only because you're fucking 18, but also because you're a fucking woman. But I'm just being fair. I'm just being fair. It's not like the smart ones are doing this.
Platform earns like less than $500 a month. I think the actual statistic is like less than $200 a month. Don't quote me on that, but just trust me, unless you already have some sort of large platform built up, it is not worth it.
These warnings always come too little too late. Those women who sign up think that they're going to be the exception to the rule.
Art Deshire says, for $1 per day, you can empower a Western woman to show her snatch and maybe feed her a kid. Feed her kid. Donate today. Not feed her a child. Eat it. Palms flat. Just like a pony. God. I love it so much when I always see like chicks on the internet be like, I know my worth. $5.99 a month. By the way, you can sub to my channel for $5 a month. I don't know my worth.
Love to play when the odds are against them in the biggest way.
Would I recommend anyone becoming an escort? Kind of a loaded question. Would I recommend that people consciously make the decision to view their body as a commodity and sell it for the sexual gratification of others, while spending copious amounts of time marketing themselves on red websites or getting in touch?
What's a red website? Is that some sort of, what is she, Irish or something? Is that like a thing in Ireland where I don't know what that means?
And linking up with someone who gladly distributes women, and then there's the actual act.
Oh, you could hook up with the Tate brothers. Those absolute vile humans, pieces of shit. Human is a very loose term, but yes, absolute vile people. I don't care how much money. I don't care how many fucking Bugattis you have. You're just garbage people. Like, why does... I don't get the people that follow those guys. I don't understand that. Like, are you really such a fucking tool that you want to be like other tools, just like more successful tools? Look, yeah, they have money, so they're more successful but they're fucking tools. I would rather have less money, but still, I would like to have money, but still, I would and not be such a fucking tool, and not such a mouth sore on society, a problem. And then they're polluting their fucking. They're all like, God, fucking Muslims, dude, fucking Muslims. It's the Muslims again. Fucking they're everywhere. Jesus.
Of doing it, so entering into a one-to-one scenario with somebody or going to some kind of like events.
Getting into that kind of work isn't just dressing up and going to have fun. It's degrading work that will forever damage that woman for the rest of her life. They only realize this after it's far too late for them.
And actually letting people use your sacred body for their...
That shit ain't sacred. That shit is not sacred. I mean, like, okay, maybe at the very beginning that could be argued, but like, see if I can make an analogy. So, like the Vatican. I'm sorry. When you let thousands of people stomp all through like your fucking temple, it's not as sacred anymore. It's not as special anymore. It's just not. It may have been a historically sacred place, but when there's a million Chinese smoking men fucking taking pictures inside of your temple, it ain't that anymore. It's just not. It's just not. It is a relic. You are a relic of somebody, of something that could have been great, but decided to fucking piss it away. Piss it away. So you can make a couple $100 a month.
Barrel gratification. So
Dan Snot says, calm down, John. No! No! I'm not going to calm down. I'm not going to calm down because this is my rage therapy hour. This is what I do so I can remain calm the rest of my day. Has it been working? Not exactly. But no, I'm sick of all this fucking... Look, I'm pissed that I didn't get to grow up in a society like my parents did or my grandparents did or their parents did. I'm pissed that we don't have like a high trust society and everything's falling apart and everyone's a fucking whore, and I'm worried for my own kids, right? So no, I'm not going to calm down. I'm upset. I'm upset, and I'm trying to make the world a better place for my own kids. And people like this right here, fucking it up. Blood coming out of my nose. Yeah, man, I'm mad. I'm upset by it. Am I really, do you understand? Like, do you feel me? I feel like you do.
to recommend this lifestyle would make me a dangerous person. And obviously...
Teja says, John got that existential dread like a motherfucker. I wouldn't say it's existential dread. It's not. No, I'm not like having like an episode where I'm like, you know, why am I here? Blah, blah, blah. I'm just a little upset at the situation I've been put into. You know, it's like being born in a dump and then being like, oh, now I have to fucking clean up this dump. And then you're just like a little bitter about it. Like it used to be a beautiful palace. And then some people just came through and shit all over it. And then you're there, you just show up, you poof into existence, and they're all like, here's a shovel. And then you're just like, fuck. Fuck this goddamn fucking shit. Yeah.
No, I would not recommend that. We're then obviously not considering the 10, 20 years that follow that decision where you have to actually deal with the aftermath. No, I wouldn't recommend.
Knobs Dog says, Bahama John, would you want to go in on my startup with me? Uber Whore. It's a ride-sharing program where you get to fuck your driver. No, and not because that's a bad idea. It's just because I would never be in business with you, Knob.
There are countless dangers to becoming a worker in that particular...
It's a bad idea, though.
Industry. There are massive health and safety issues that get thrown to the wayside because of the prospect of easy money, and that is just way too attractive to them, apparently.
I just saw this video of this woman just leaving the club where she worked, and she looked exhausted. She looked so done.
No, I had to fucking sit there and do coke and do shots with fucking horny businessmen. Oh. Oh, I only made $5,000. I partied so hard I made money.
And she goes, I need you guys to stop glamorizing being because it's right now. And to be honest with you, I was one of those girls that glamorized being but I was dying. I was so traumatized. It was one of the worst experiences of my entire adult life.
She glamorized being a dancer.
She got diddled as a kid. She got fucking diddled as a kid. You know how I know? Because in my entire adult life. So that means her childhood life, she was probably getting fucked by her uncle or something like that. That's sad. Yeah. Yep. So, but then again, I do say this. I do say this. Like, shit happens. Shit happens to all of us. Everyone's got a fucking shit childhood. Not all of us, but you know what I mean. A lot of people have shitty childhoods. I didn't have all roses and sunshine either. You know? But you don't grow up and be like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fucking compensate. I'm going to fucking, you know, be a whore. I'm going to eat myself to death. I'm going to drink until I can't fucking drink no more. You can't do that, dude. You can't do that. You have to be an adult. You have to grow up at some point, right? And I feel like these women just don't do that. I don't think a lot of women grow up. I don't think most women grow up at all. Ever. Even when they're 50 fucking years old. I can't even tell you how many fucking boomers I know that act like absolute children. Boomer women. Adult boomer, well, the men too, to be honest. But I can't even tell you how many fucking adult boomer women that absolutely act like children. And then they just fucking complain to the manager and bitch and moan and bitch and moan. Like they're the queen princess of fucking Fart Town, dude. Like, where do you get that? Where did that come from? Just being waited on hand and foot your entire life, and then you're an absolute cunt in your old age, and everyone hates you, and then your kids don't want to talk to you. I've seen it so many times.
Even though she was exhausted and apparently traumatized, she knew it was wrong, but she did it anyway. This is the kind of behavior that just keeps the industry going and manipulates women into signing up in the first place.
Like, I never felt so dehumanized. I felt worse than I did when I was a sugar baby, worse than I did when I was a professional. I had never been treated like that in any of those things except for when I was dancing at a club. It was horrible. I met some girls there that has worked in that same club for 10 years. I only lasted 3 months. I just stopped showing up, and I never
Wait, what was the last part she said?
Went back.
Whatever.
Of course, the work is dehumanizing. That's literally the job description. It's a job where a woman does these sorts of things for the audience for physical gratification. Once you do that, you're no longer seen as a person. I mean, I thought this was just common sense.
I did OF and I regret it badly.
Okay, tell us your story. Tell us your story. You seem like less of a problem. You don't have the nose thing or like fucking... But these are out of control, but they seem natural, so whatever. But let's see. What is your story? I'm actually interested to know.
I'm really outing myself here, but maybe this video will help some people. I did OF for about 3 months. You will do some cringy. So I signed with an agency towards the end, and they kind of took all rights of my OF, and they were making me do some cringy TikToks that just did not sit right with me.
These agencies don't care.
Oh, I bet they're really very predatory. I bet they're extremely predatory agencies where they take like 90% of the thing And it's just like, why'd you sign up with them? Oh, well, I thought it would help my account. And it probably did a little bit, but then you're making less money. You don't do the math. You didn't do the math, did you? And now you're beholden to a contract. So that's stupid. Yeah, don't do that. Look, signing with agencies is sometimes a good deal, but I guarantee you not for you. I mean, maybe you have like a business lawyer or somebody, like a man involved that actually knows how to like negotiate and understand terms and like read the fucking contract. But this isn't a problem unique to pornography. I mean, this is a problem in like the music industry. The music industry is lousy with predatory contracts, where they sign young bands and like they just steal all their net worth. They steal everything from them, and then when they turn 27, they murder them. You understand? That's why a lot of times very famous rock stars die when they're 27. It's because they get murdered because they're worth more dead than they are alive. Not only do the companies actually pull out a very handsome life insurance policy on them, but after, like, say, Amy Winehouse or something died, her record sales shot through the roof. And this happens time after Jimi Hendrix, fucking Jim Morrison. It happens time after time. It is not just a coincidence that a bunch of famous rock stars happen to die at the age of 27. No, they're murdered. They are murdered. That's true.
Privacy or dignity. They're just one step above the men who sell these women on the streets, and they're shocked when they realize how degrading the work becomes.
So I think like after doing that was when I was like, this is
Goofy Boots says, who's gassing up these D-tier bitches into thinking they can be successful whores? Themselves, maybe? I don't know. Other bitches? Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, you're so pretty. Dude, women say that shit to each other all the time. I don't get that. That'd be weird if I went around to other guys and be like, yo, you're so handsome. I get punched in the fucking face. But women do that all the time, dude. It's like, it's weird. It's like a weird camaraderie thing. I don't get it. They pretend to be nice to each other. And I'm like, bitch, I know you ain't nice.
actually not who I am. And not who I want to be on the internet at all. I wish I had thought about it much harder than I did because I regret it. And I wish I didn't do that. It was a weird part of my life.
Knobs Dog says, I think you're handsome too. Shut up, Knob.
A lot of these women keep saying doing OF wasn't who they wanted to be. Even
I saw you donate my $1 to Daywave today. I expect you to fucking pay me back.
though they made the choice to become that type of person, these women are far too impulsive for their own good.
My mental health since I've started this has...
You got a long face like a horse. You Mrs. Ed over here. So long. So long and narrow. I'm sorry. I can just see her like peeking through like a picket fence. Just eating an apple like a sugar cube. Sugar cube. And then she's like, nay.
just slowly like been...
I'm fucking mean, dude. I'm like a mean person. I don't like, but it brings me so much joy. I don't know why. It's got to be some sort of disorder. Whatever.
Like I feel a little bit dead inside. I feel completely desensitized. Not to sound funny, but I really don't feel any type of desire or like attraction to men in general anymore. Just know that if you are a person who's ever been interested in doing this, there really are so many downsides. At this point, and I'm like willing to admit this now, there's no amount of money that you can give me right now to like make me feel like...
Cyberpunk says, hi bitch, why the long face? God, I could tell. I know she'd scowl.
Like giving myself a
I would never say that to her face. Oh my God, dude. No, I would.
way in certain aspects, even if they're just a few photos or whatever online. It almost isn't worth it anymore.
It's almost.
It's like, hey, how was your trip to Easter Island?
How despite all of the
It's
quote-unquote trauma,
fucking
becoming
love it.
desensitized and not being able to bond with men, she still says it's almost not worth doing it anymore. Apparently,
Almost. She'll still take a dick.
the amount of money she makes is still worth the trade.
And while I did have such a strong start and it was so much fun in the beginning, after getting burnt out, I started to just feel really
She did a Chinese donkey show. Did you? Did she?
differently
Maybe.
about like the types of messages that I was getting. Like seriously, if I had any type of ability to
Or did her mom do the Chinese donkey show? And that's how she got this condition.
share like the things that people have said, just like how disgusting they are. And also when I get curious and nosy sometimes, like I'll go
So I see you brought back a souvenir.
because first I only have like a whole girlfriend or a whole wife, and sometimes even disgustingly enough they have kids. It makes me feel so conflicted with doing this.
It's rather different.
Renee says, I named my dog Moai after those heads, and he's got a tiny head for a Dane. That's pretty funny. Remember that? She found it fun. Yeah, her words. Yes.
Difficult to
Her
take
words.
the moral high
Mhm.
ground by saying that her subscribers had wives and children when she's the one providing the products for them to buy.
So I have really gotten to
This is a famous one. What's her name? God, what is that chick's name?
the point where there are days to weeks at a time where I don't leave my house because I don't feel like facing the world of what has been created out there for me.
Whoa! Wow! Whoa, 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 whoa. Pump the brakes, bitch. Created for you? Created for you like it was some sort of genie? Like there was some sort of entity out there that decided to fuck... Brie Olson is her name. That decided to fuck up your shit? Really? Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. The dodging of accountability is amazing with these chicks. The entire verbiage that comes out of their mouth is just like, I'm a victim, I'm a victim, I'm a victim. You made the money though, right? You did make the money. It went into your hand. Not just the money though. Come on. I would respect you so much more if you're just like, yeah, I made some dumb decisions and I got cum denied, got cum shots in my face and butt and, all over. Just the whole thing. And now I'm a pariah and I go to the grocery store and other moms fucking mean mug me and shit like that and I feel like an outcast. Well, it was my fault. I would respect you way more if you did that. But I know that's not going to be the case. It's going to be, it wasn't my fault. There was some evil genie that forced me to do it. And then, I got diddled as a kid too. Make your excuses. Make them. I don't give a shit. Make your fucking excuses. It's just, it's so tiring to hear the same song and dance time and time again. It's not your fault. We get it. It's not your fault. We get it. It's not your fault. It is your fault. It's 100% your fault. It's decision after decision that you made, destroying your life, time after time. And you can blame your dad, or you can blame your fucking touchy uncle, or you can blame your fucking drunk mom, or all you want. But at the end of the day, it was your life, and you decided to do it. So no one's got any fucking sympathy for you, especially not me. And I'm a fucking dick. I get that. I am a dick for not having sympathy for you. I can't change that though. I don't. I can't. You caused destruction not only in your own life, but in society in general. So, boo to you. Boo to you.
I get so disappointed when I go out and I meet a new friend, and then
Cyberpunk says she does look like she could suck the chrome off a bumper. Carbon says it's never a woman's fault. Never has been.
and it turns out they don't want to be my friend anymore. Or I go out and, you know, I don't know, I just hear
Teo says, yeah, John diddled you, lady. Get off your high horse and get a job. I didn't bang Brie Olsen.
things or
I'm way too white.
witness things.
That world wasn't created for her. She created that world by joining into the industry. And the harsh reality is that people will judge these women for what they do. It has been.
It is. It's a harsh reality. It is an absolutely harsh reality, but it is the reality nonetheless.
In that way for literally thousands of years.
It's really easier for me just to stay inside my house and not.
And then become the people that were actually watching your content. It is a weird full circle kind of thing. And then she's just going to be like fucking dusting the clam to like whatever OnlyFans is for girls. I don't know. Saucy romance novels or something like that. I don't know. But it's weird like that. Because how many millions of men stayed inside their house instead of going out and pursuing an actual relationship, just cranking their knob to fucking watching you getting railed by black dudes? Too many. And now that same fate has befallen you. That's appropriate. It's appropriate. Now you're the incel. Wow. It's poetic. Now you have to stay in your probably pretty nice house. Let's be honest, she made a lot of money. In your pretty nice house, but you just can't go outside. You made yourself a little gilded cage. Good for you.
Not put myself out there for her. I wish that people would treat me how they would
Hello,
treat
Jameson.
a married registered nurse with 2.5 kids.
Well, I mean, that's not... Registered nurses are kind of sluts too, but I get what you're saying.
In Indiana.
Okay. You didn't need the last part, honestly.
That's how I wish people would treat me.
She could have had that life if she just made the right decision, but she chose poorly, and now she wants the world to see.
She could have easily bagged a very a very solid male partner. She could have easily just gotten a guy and been like, "You take care of me for my entire life, and I'll crap out some kids, and then we're gonna be good like that." And it would have been easy. It would have been a snap. It would have been so easy for her because she's a very good-looking female, right? It wouldn't have been a problem. But she's like, "No, I'm gonna be a ruthless whore, and then I'm gonna spread it all around the internet, and then see what happens." Yeah. See, you understand why I don't have any sympathy for these people.
See her as something else, but it's rather difficult to do
If she's crying, she's lying. Exactly, Carbon. Yeah.
that when her shame will be on the internet for literally ever.
I send a very strong message to young girls. Don't do because
The young girl, la 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 la. I'm gonna make $40 million. La 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 la. Oh, I'm gonna be so hot and sexy. La 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 la. Now she's on our side too, yelling across the crevasse, right? Maybe that's not the, but yelling, right, and just being like, "Don't stop. We're trying to help you. Don't do it." And they're just jumping one after one. Just jumping into that ravine. Okay. Just no, it'll work for me. This parachute's gonna work. It doesn't. It's not a parachute. It's filled with silverware. It's a backpack filled with silverware. You're gonna pull the ripcord. It's just spoons and forks are gonna fly out. And then you're gonna fall to the bottom, and it's gonna be a little poof that comes out like a Looney Tune.
as much I understand it, you want to embrace your sexuality. You want to say screw the man, screw whatever. Like I can do what I want.
She's
with my
speaking
body,
facts.
but you're just gonna have a life of crap in front of you, and they have morality clauses. You can never work with children after you do.
This is true. This is true.
You can never work in a medical field after you do.
I wonder why that is. Like, you can't be a busty nurse after that? That's kind of weird. You can't give old men sponge baths? I feel like that would be like a well-paying niche. Whatever. I'm not part of the medical field, but I'm just saying that could be a promising career, right? Like, you're an old, decrepit old man, but you're like dirty, you're horny, and that's another thing with men over women. They stop being horny after, I don't know, 25, and and men stay horny until well into their twilight years, well into their twilight years. So a busty nurse giving an old man a sponge bath could very well make her some money.
Reasons she listed have to do with feminist empowerment and fighting the patriarchy. The irony is that they're joining an industry that is reliant on the money provided by men.
Knobstock says, I have another great idea. Ex-porn star nurses in assisted living facilities. No, that wasn't your idea. I made that idea. That was my idea. You're just repeating it back to me. Shut up. Shut up, Knob.
In order to fund their lifestyle.
Shut up, you fucking idiot.
January 1st, 2023. And
don't back him up, Onias.
2022, I quit dancing at the club.
Now Renee's is like, nice, yeah. You guys are fucking idiots, dude.
And I just wanted to talk about why, because it really was not a conscious decision that I was just like...
Cyberpunk says, well, they walk with the stigmata of once a whore, always a whore. Yes, this is very true. And it's not going... You can't just cleanse your sins. You can't just no, that is forever. The internet is the devil. And these are victims of that.
Okay, this is my last time at the club. I did not plan it out. My body basically was just like, no, we're not doing this anymore.
Do you have no ability to make your own decisions? It's either someone else or their body, but it's never their idea. It's never their thoughts. That's interesting.
I would get home and I would have the shakes so bad.
The tolls that the industry takes on the body is massive, and it can cause some permanent injuries, but most of the time these warning signs are just ignored because the money is too good.
And then even then I wasn't so...
Is it the money though? Is it the money, or is it the attention and the drugs and also the money? Let's be real. It's also the money. But it's got to be a confluence. It's got to be, all of those things. A combination.
Sensitive to my body that even that bothered me. So I'd be like, oh, whatever. Maybe I'm just anxious and I was supposed to go to bed. I would wake up and throw up nothing every single day.
Except for semen. Just white. Oh my God.
After I worked at the club. So I started to get really, really sick.
It's just fucking, it's just semen and glitter. So it's sparkly and shit. And it's like glue. So then it's just, you can't clean it up. All right. It's just oh no.
Which caused me then to only go to work maybe
Renee says trem whores, which is very clever. Thank you.
2 or 3 days a month, and then I'm
trem whores.
Damn, I can't even go in that much. I'm not making that much money while I am there. My boundaries started to be more
you can't
strong
get that shit
with
off.
the men, where it's just no, you can't touch me. No, you can't.
Rob, shut the fuck up. You too. Rob says that's Knobsdog. That's a really good idea. Shut up. It was my idea. Rob, fucking Knobsdog just steals from me.
That. No, you can't.
He just steals. He just steals shit. Content. He doesn't pay. He gave me $1 once.
Can't talk to me like that. And of course, you make less money when you have more boundaries. So I ended up going back.
Yeah, Renee's, I got the joke. And I said it was clever. I got it. Yeah.
Getting really...
She says, get it like Tremors, but trem horse. Yes. Yeah, Renee's.
Sick. To the
yes.
point where I came back to Miami and I was sick mentally.
Will B says sparkly vanilla pudding.
That's that experience. So I cut it.
But anyway, guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode.
And so are we. Anyways, guys, I feel like that was informative, and we got a lot done there. So, oopsie doodle. I'm gonna pop me up. I need to be on camera. There we go. What an adventure. What an absolute adventure that we just had. And I'm glad you guys shared that with me, and I'm glad you guys came. Please hit the like button if you'd be so kind. And if you want to support the stream, you can donate to my Ko-Fi or my PayPal or Rumble Rants. Or if you can go to my Twitter, there's a tip button right at the top of my profile. I would appreciate anything you guys could possibly do for the show so we can keep this going. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for your jokes and your input and your discussion. Anyways, I'll be back tomorrow night at 8 p.m., and I hope to see you guys there. Until then, I hope you guys do well, do great, be awesome to each other, drink a lot of water, get a good night's sleep, and take care of yourselves because I care about you too. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night. Love you.
I'm an incredible soul, unhinged and enraged like a bulldog's just growl. I'm spitting fire, burning through these trees, questioning the world, unraveling conspiracies. Talking about Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster too. Government lies, they're feeding me their goo. I'm diving deep into this rabbit hole, uncovering the truth, setting fire to their control. I got small nipples, but my voice is loud, blowing like thunder in this crazy crowd. They say I'm crazy, but I call it woke, unraveling the madness with every word I spoke.